This video starts off with Jeffy's pet dinosaur Booger destroying a couch pillow. And with the help of Jeffy, they pull him off, but it's clear that the dinosaur needs some house training, so they get the veterinarian Brooklyn guy who has a piece of chicken for some reason, and they want to try different ways to house train the dinosaur, but Brooklyn guy explains that since he's a dinosaur, that's kinda what they do. It's kind of a wild animal, Marvin. But Marvin still believes that the dinosaur can be house trained, so Brooklyn guy devises a plan to use a portal gun to time travel back in time and get another dinosaur to house train the dinosaur. Okay, you bring back another dinosaur, what could go wrong? So Brooklyn guy reveals that he has this portal gun that his grandfather made while he was tinkering, and Brooklyn guy will use the piece of chicken that he brought in as bait to lure the dinosaur from the other side. Next comes up some admittedly decent special effects. It's not too realistic, but it's serviceable enough to make a portal. Impressed that it actually works for a moment, Brooklyn guy then uses the piece of chicken that's tied to a piece of string and just throws it into the portal in hopes of luring out a dinosaur, and they get a catch. As they play tug of war to get a dinosaur pops through the portal and it's revealed to be it's your boy Duggie. For younger SML fans who may not know, this character is based off an even older SML character named Black Yoshi, who's basically a black stereotype, but because of the cease and desist, they obviously cannot use Nintendo characters, so it's your boy Duggie is a completely original character, who's still a black dinosaur, but he still exhibits all of the traits of Black Yoshi, like liking KFC, some Kool-Aid, and later on, he gets to play some Call of Duty. So Marvin explains his motivations for why he brought in Duggie in order to house train Booger, but when Duggie tries to tell Booger anything, he just runs off. Jeffy then comes in wanting to play some Call of Duty, but Marvin doesn't allow it. And then when Duggie sees that he can play Call of Duty, he is actually a pretty good gamer, and so Marvin allows him to play in exchange for, later on, house training Boogie, or Booger, whatever the Jeffy's pet dinosaur's name is or whatever. Marvin then gets the bright idea to give Duggie his wallet so that he can buy his map packs in exchange for house training the dinosaur. But of course, Duggie being Duggie decides to use most of the money to buy whatever he wanted, and so he becomes all gangster and stuff. Fed up with all of this, Marvin brings back Brooklyn guy, who has a piece of bacon this time around, and explains that he wants to send Duggie back because he is just fed up with them stealing his money and not actually house training the other dinosaur. But when Brooklyn guy tries to make another portal, it's revealed the portal gun doesn't have any juice left. After discussing any other possible options, they pretty much have no choice, but they're going to have to keep Duggie. And thus, we get a brand new SML main character, or at the very least they brought back an older character in this new copyright-free form. But to simply put it to older SML fans, Black Yoshi is definitely back, with given a new origin and backstory, but he still has the same personality, like liking KFC, Call of Duty, and being all gangster. In other words, he's a black stereotype. So overall, this video was, well, it was kind of a mixed bag for me. This video honestly doesn't really have much of a plot per se. There's definitely a conflict, which is Pookie or Booger or whatever the dinosaur's name is, basically not being house trained and making a mess, which leads to the other characters wanting to do something about it. So obviously there's a conflict, but the rest of the story, well, the conflict doesn't really get resolved, and there's not much of a way in plot. It's basically a reintroduction to Black Yoshi as a new copyright-free character named Duggie. And obviously, that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a good thing to introduce a character because we get to learn their names, their personalities, what their interest is, and how they get along with all the other characters. Introducing a character in a plot or at the beginning of a story is basically mandatory so that we know who this character is and why we should care about them. So this isn't exactly a brand new concept. However, the majority of this video is basically the introduction of this character, where we learn his personality, what are his interests, and stuff like that. There's not much of a plot, if I'm being honest myself. It's not like they go anywhere or they try to find a way to resolve the initial conflict of the dinosaur being rogue. Now, it's a bit of an exaggeration to say that there isn't a plot in this video, because obviously the plot is introducing Duggie, and that's kind of the conflict where they try to resolve it by sending him back, but they couldn't, so he's here to stay. But the thing is, that doesn't happen until right at the end of the video, so for the most part, it's just a character introduction. So, overall, this video was kind of a mixed bag. I mean, yeah, we get to know who Duggie is and all that, but there's not much of a way in terms of plot. Really, the entertainment value that you're gonna get is all of the humor that Duggie can pull out, so yeah, not a bad video per se. It's pretty mediocre, but it's not the worst thing I've seen in this world. If I were to give this a rating, I'd give it 3 stars out of 5. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.